Welcome back, everybody, to our very first episode of Across the Board with Lawryn, Radford, and
Colin, Odom.
Y'all, we are so happy to be back here in the studio, and we are so excited to share this extremely hectic week of sports, not just here at the Hill, but also outside the Hill. So without further ado, this past Sunday, after the Eagles' 31-25 win over the Buccaneers, star wide receiver A.J. Brown sparked speculation by posting a cryptic Bible verse on social media, hinting at frustration over his role in the offense. Despite being targeted 9 times in Week 4, Brown managed just 2 catches for 7 yards, with no reception in the second half as the Eagles' offense stalled. Head coach Nick Sirianni acknowledged Brown's desire to contribute and emphasized his importance to the team, noting their daily communication and Brown's strong character. While the Eagles remain undefeated at 4-0, they struggle to play complete games, and Brown's underwhelming stats, 14 catches for 151 yards and 1 touchdown, contrast sharply to his all-pro pedigree, raising questions about internal dynamics and offensive consistency. The Eagles end of Week 5 with a noon game this Saturday against Denver. Here's Nick Sirianni with his opinion on everything that's happened.
Obviously, AJ is very important to this football team. I know he wants to contribute. I know he wants to contribute and, do the things that he's capable of doing. He wants to contribute into these wins. And he's had a couple games where he hasn't been able to, and for different reasons of why we haven't in these games. So, but I question nothing about, his desire to play great football, his desire of being a good teammate, his desire to be here.
Man, it looks like Coach Nick had a lot to say about everything that went on. My thing is this, they still managed to cop out a dub against the Bucs, because from what I had seen and heard, even though everybody's eyes was on Dallas on Sunday, they still managed to bring out the heat, even with some spottiness out there.
I don't know. The Eagles, from the performance from last year to now, the production doesn't look the same. It looks like the level that they've produced at from last year to now, it looks like it went down. A.J. Brown as a player, he doesn't seem as efficient as he used to be, but I don't think he's getting as many targets or just the looks that he deserves as an all-pro wide receiver on that caliber of a team. So I don't understand where's the if ands about it, but I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, my thing is this, do I think that he should have posted a Bible verse? Yes.
Yeah.
In certain situations, if you feel as though you're being, in a toxic area or you're being dogged out in some kind of way, then yeah, go ahead and remove yourself. But from what I had been reading up on, he's the highest paid wide receiver in not just the NFC, but the NFL.
Yeah.
And folks are literally speculating oh, snap, is he getting traded? Is he talking about leaving? Why? The season just started. They're undefeated in their conference. What's up with that?
I just think he's a little emotional. He's not getting what he wants. He wants to touch the ball. He is A.J. Brown at the end of the day. So he wants to touch the ball. I want to touch the ball if I was A.J. Brown. I'm the best receiver on my team, and I'm getting paid this much money to catch the football. So I can see where he's coming from, but the Bible verse may have been a little bit extra. But
yeah, kind of stretching.
At the end of the day, it's Week 4, and y'all won the game, so there's no need to do all of that.
Yeah, you need to go ahead and check up right now, too, especially before Denver, because Denver's one of those dark horses out there in their conference, too. But in my opinion, even in their first game against Dallas with the whole weather delay and everything, even that game, as rowdy as it was, a lot of folks are just saying, what was that? That wasn't the same team that we saw last year. But that's something that Philly has always struggled with, even when I was watching them. Inconsistency. They haven't really been consistent with anything that they do. Yes, they're great on both sides of the ball. They have a dang good quarterback and everything, but they just can't seem to grasp it every season. So, I don't understand that.
I say Philadelphia as a team, like you said, it's a great team, but it's just stuff they have to work on eternally. Because they come out every Sunday, and I could say produce, but the production could be at a much higher level. Just as a football team, coaches, players, staff, whatever they need to do to figure it out. Because the way they're looking, they're going to lose to a team who wants it more than them.
Facts.
So
look at Kansas City.
Yeah, and they're starting off terribly. So they're going to lose to, like you said, Denver is a dark horse of the league. They might, if they don't come out with their A game, they might lose that football game. So.
And trying to get into Kansas City right now is like trying to open up a can of worms. And I'm still salty about that loss against Baltimore.
We're not going to talk about them.
If I talk about them with Baltimore, we ain't never going to leave the studio at all.
Let's not talk about Baltimore either.
Even I really do wish that they could do something, man. Like they just can't seem to get it, and folks just be harping on them for no reason.
They took Lamar Jackson out this week. That was bad.
Yeah, I saw
was really
that.
bad.
I got hurt by that statement.
I was watching that game live. That was heartbreaking when they took him out.
And that's the last thing that they need right now too, especially going into kind of like the halfway point a little bit.
That's when they need him the most.
Oh man, no. Maybe Philly can get it right. Maybe not. Maybe AJ does need to go on a sabbatical or something. I don't know. I don't know what this boy needs.
Need to go on a hiatus at home.
Something. Maybe spend a little bit of that cheddar that he's been earning. I don't know.
Hibernation.
Yeah,
get him a massage, something like that.
Something. But either way, bro, I just wish everybody the best of luck in whatever they decide to do. Like, it's been some really, really, really good football being played.
Yes, absolutely.
It really and truly has.
Absolutely. I could say, I don't like I said, man, they just need to figure it out at the end of the day. Like, to be the best team in the National Football League, or used to be, it's not really looking like that's what it's supposed to be. They're not playing like it. They're not producing like they're supposed to. And like you said, I just hope I hope they figure it out, and I hope he figures it out,
especially with the new rules too and everything. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about Dallas, but like we're not even gonna bring that up.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring up the Cowboys.
It's just the new rules. It's weird. Yeah. It's weird.
It's not like they're not letting them play football anymore.
It's not, and especially with a team like Philly and the grit that they do have because they are the underdogs. I feel like if they do go into a team, then yes.
But being an underdog and supposed to be the best team, that's a bad mix. But like I said, let's flip over to college football. This past Saturday, Texas A&M claims its first SEC victory against Auburn in a hard-fought battle that ended with the Aggies walking away 16 to Auburn's 10. Head coach Mike Elko pushed back against negative narratives, pointing out the team's offensive inefficiency and discipline issues despite their win. Elko highlighted the team's strong defensive performance and undefeated start. Elko also pointed out that the Aggies are 4-0 for the first time since 2016, praising his defense for allowing just 177 yards, recording 5 sacks, and shutting Auburn down on 3rd and 4th downs. Frustrated by the tone of post-game questions, Elko urged reporters to focus on the positives.
Obviously, great win. Anytime you get an SEC win, it's a great win. For us to start 4-0 for the first time since 2016, that was huge. Obviously, for us to go out and play defense the way we did today and win us a game multiple times, I thought that was a really, really impressive job by that side of the ball, the staff, the players. And again, when you want to be a complete team, there's times where you're going to have to carry the other side. What I told the guys in the locker room was, when we went up to South Bend and we weren't playing great on defense, offensively, we made all the plays we needed to make. Today, we weren't really in sync on offense, but on defense, we just kept going out and kept making all the plays we needed to make to go out there and win a football game, and that's a credit of a good football team. Offensively, we did a good job running the football. That's a really good running team. We ran the ball for over 200, or run defense. We ran the ball over for over 200 yards. We were efficient in the throwing game. We create too many penalties. Like it's got to get fixed. It's way too many penalties that kill drives. It's way too many penalties that set us behind the sticks. And then if you put that together with not being able to convert 3rd downs, that's how you have 414 yards and not nearly enough points for what 414 yards should get you. And then our special teams, we have to get cleaned up immensely. Too many penalties, too many bad kicks. And so we're happy. We're 4-0. We did the things we needed to do to win today, and I just think the ceiling for this team is a lot higher if we could figure out how to go put 4 quarters together. And so that'll be our challenge heading into next week.
Man, it sounded like Coach Elko had a lot to say. But honestly, even with me being a reporter in situations like this, I will always applaud coaches for sticking up for their boys, especially when they manage to get the job done in the end. Yeah. At the end of it all, A&M, they still walked away with a dub, much like Philly. And as always, it just seems like folks will always find something crazy to say in the end.
Oh yeah, they played a good game. Well, they played a good game, despite what they faced last year against Auburn. They lost that game, so to come back and win this game, I ain't gonna say that the caliber that they did win the game, but the way they won the game, they played a great game. They might not have been how they wanted it to happen or the way they wanted it, but they got the win in the end. So
yeah, facts, man. Even with last year's game, both teams, they definitely had a hard-fought battle, and winning by that and losing by that, 2 or 3 loss, it still kind of gave them a fuel up under the bus, like, we got to go out here and get this job done. And Kyle Field, the O-line from last year till this year, it's definitely gotten amped up. I mean, it still has its little hiccups here and there, but the ammunition that they have with their 12th man fan base at Kyle Field is just ridiculous. And even people are also saying that, like, why are they having to play so many home games less than away games? Like, it doesn't help the fact, you know, when they go on away games, they don't have their fans. But, and in my eyes, with having more home games on your schedule than anything, it does help because that gives you more ammunition to go out there when you do leave home and want it more.
Yeah, I say getting all their home games out the way, I say it's good for now because when it's time to go on the road and not have that fan base there with you, y'all, they will be ready to be on their own, basically. Like, it's going to be them and the team, the coaches, the staff. It's just going to be them. It's not going to be Kyle Field and 12th man out there with them. It's just going to be Texas A&M and the guys they're going out there to fight with. So I say going out there getting these home games done, I think it's best for them at the moment.
I'm going to tell you another game where it definitely came in clutch for them to have that fan support. Notre Dame.
Yeah, absolutely.
That game, everybody and their mama was already calling it, and I said in my head, watch what happens in these next couple seconds. 40 seconds later, clutch touchdown, bro. Yeah. That was the most clutchest moment of the whole game. My mama started falling asleep. She heard me screaming next to her. But I just love seeing moments like that where everybody else thinks that, you know, they went out here and threw in the towel, like, nah, we got something for y'all. Yeah. And then it also kind of gave a little fire up underneath Notre Dame, too, because Notre Dame, they started off trash this year so far.
I think Notre Dame, I think they're ranked like 22nd in the nation. They were ranked like, they were top 10 last year, so I think being at home, playing teams of that caliber, like Notre Dame isn't a pushover type of team. So playing teams of that caliber and going out there and getting wins, because they're 4-0 right now. So going out there and getting wins and playing teams like that, I think that's good for their belt because I can't name off the top of my head who A&M has to play next.
It's Mississippi State, and that's another home game they play this Saturday too. Yeah, that's going to be getting active, too. That's going to be
a good game right there.
Yeah, because Mississippi, they just walked away from a win last weekend. I think it was against, Tennessee?
Yeah, that's a win. That's a big win because Tennessee, they were a top 10 team last year as well. Yeah. So coming out with those type of wins, but back to A&M.
Especially with them coming off of like a SEC, like it's their first conference win. Yeah. Like they really needed that.
They needed that win.
They needed that bad, and so it started them off with a good standing in the conference, leading on to the playoff season, and then prayerfully maybe a championship in the end.
Don't go too far with it.
Hey, I'm just saying, like they definitely do want one, and they need one in my opinion. They need one bad.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but no.
I can't say how I feel about A&M on this show. But
he said he's not playing favoritism today, y'all.
I can't do it.
I can respect it for real. But no, in all honesty, like I said, if they could just manage to get that consistency down with their O-line, their defense, spectacular. Yeah. They don't need to do nothing else.
It's really just the O-line at the end of it. I ain't gonna say it's just the O-line, but the people that they have around the O-line, quarterback Marcel Reed, they just got a couple new wide receiver transfers. I think none of his name's Conception, but they have the pieces. They O-line just needs to lock in, basically. So.
Facts. Now, Coach Mike, he gonna make sure he gets it done, and so is that fan base too.
Absolutely.
Like A&M, they don't believe in leaving no crumbs out there.
Yeah, they're not gonna leave nobody behind. They're gonna make sure it gets done.
Not one bit. You know what I would really like to see though?
What you like to see?
Oh man, if some crazy mess happens when they go up against Texas in November.
I think we know who's gonna win that game.
You saw the one last year?
I seen it. I was there.
It was sold out across all of it. It was sold out. It was crazy.
I don't know how I feel about that, man.
I'm excited. That's what I am. I'm excited.
I'm excited for it too as well.
You know who isn't excited though? The Cleveland Browns have been turning heads recently, but not in positive ways. Benching veteran Joe Flacco in favor of rookie Dillion Gabriel, who will make his first NFL start against the Minnesota Vikings in London this Sunday. Flacco struggled in his second stint with the team, completing just 58.1% of his passes with 6 interceptions, while the Browns offense continued its season-long slump, scoring 17 points or fewer in 9 straight games. Gabriel, a surprising third-round pick, showed his promise in preseason with quick decision-making and mobility, skills that could help offset Cleveland's issue with pass protection, but seen as a gamble considering the already laboring offense. Behind Gabriel, Flacco will serve as the backup and Colorado bust star Shedeur Sanders as the emergency third quarterback. As Gabriel steps into the spotlight, Sanders remains a looming presence with fans eager to see if he'll get his chance should the offense continue to falter. Here is a clip from a daily talk show talking about everything going on with Cleveland.
Significant breaking news from the NFL. Everything we had planned to do on the program has just jumped out the window. Kimberly Martin, would you please be so kind as to share the breaking news of the morning?
Yeah, Adam Schefter just reported that Dillion Gabriel will replace Joe Flacco for the Cleveland Browns. Dillion Gabriel will start against the Minnesota Vikings in London. This did not come as a surprise considering how this Cleveland Browns offense has looked of late. A lot of questions in Cleveland about their offense and Joe Flacco. Now we know, rookie quarterback up next.
Peter, here's what I think. I think they were listening to our pre-show meeting this morning. We had a lengthy discussion about when they should do this, whether they should do this, how they should do this. And now, an hour later, they have done this. Fill in the blanks for me.
The argument for going to Dillion Gabriel is he brings a little bit of spark.
It's the NFL. This is what you sign up for.
Watching them play offense hurt your eyes, right? So, I mean, it's hard to imagine it getting much worse, but that's easy to say until it actually happens. Nick, first guess it. Do you like the decision?
Oh, yeah, I like the decision. I think that it's probably something that you feel in a locker room, and the boost that you're talking about is there. The athleticism is the big point through it. I think Peter touched on this earlier, but it raises the floor of your offense immediately if you have some ability to run. Like the pocket passer is almost obsolete in the NFL. The strict pocket passer, which Joe Flacco is. Ability to move, run some zone read, do some other things to take pressure off the rest of the team, I think helps them a lot.
Yeah. Their tackles have struggled in Cleveland. And if you can't move and your tackles aren't doing a great job, you're going to get a lot of pressure, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, you're going to turn the ball over. All those things are coming to fruition.
Okay, they had their little stuff to say about that. Now on to the real folks that what we got to say. Man, I've been hearing about Shador ever since he graduated, ever since he left Colorado. Now I'm getting C's mixed up. What's been going on?
I don't think they ever going to give him his opportunity, man, and I hate that for him. The fact that they drafted him and they're not going to put him on the field, knowing what he did during preseason, I watched most of that film. He looked better than anybody they put on the field.
No,
Joe Flacco's he's getting up there in age. Dillion Gabriel, he used to play in my old school, but he doesn't look like he's gonna produce. So this Shador, I think they should give him a chance, but if they're not gonna give him a chance, they need to send him somewhere else. Right?
Wait a minute, time out. Which one was better, Dylan, back in the day or present day?
He used to play at Oregon. That's my favorite school.
Yeah, I forgot, Oregon Ducks. Well, I mean, that one little incident that happened at the Rose Bowl, that was kind of a one-time thing.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. Yeah. That hurt. I watched that game live.
I did too. That was the last thing I was expecting to happen. But no, in all seriousness though, like, I never really kept up with Dylan and his trail with Oregon. I mainly kind of, kept up with Shador because Coach Prime, obviously.
You had to.
But seeing how things went about with Colorado, even with, their upset against BYU at Alamo Bowl and, their season not really how they wanted it to be. Yeah. At the end of it all, all three of those boys still walked away with something. And I remember during the draft this year, it was a mess. Like, we were down in the Woodlands and everybody named Mama was just not having it. But shoot, if I was in his predicament, I would be pissed off too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a 5-star quarterback prospect coming out of college. I know what to do when I have the snap. I know where I'm going. I was trained by the greatest QB probably in any kind of generation, if you ask somebody. So why am I a 5th-round pick?
Honestly, I just think he was a little bit too much. His head might have got too big, but I think he could go out there and do better than anybody they put on the field. But I think he did it to himself. They might not give him the opportunity until it's too late when it doesn't matter. Because I don't know the Browns' record off the top of my head, but I don't think it's too good.
Exactly. No,
not that good.
Nobody really knows. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I honestly, Joe Flacco, he's a little too old to be on the field right now. He's not an Aaron Rodgers or anything. Dillion Gabriel, I never really liked the way he played, and so anybody else, all they got is Shador, and they saying he's an emergency quarterback. That don't sound too good in my
crazy
end.
to me right there. Emergency quarterback and this dude.
That sounds like you last resort, and he's not a last resort type of player,
I had watched Dylan maybe one time during preseason. I was at home with my family, and I was too busy focused on something totally different. But when I did get a chance to actually look at him on screen, I'm like, why is he flimming around like a darn fish out of water? Like, what is this? It looked a hot mess. And then I think it's also because of the fact that they see that this kid was a Heisman Trophy contender, but he came in 3rd place.
Yeah.
You got you got the Heisman Trophy champion, Travis Hunter, went off to Jacksonville, doing his thing with Trevor Lawrence. Sure. Then you got 2nd place, Cam Ward. He's doing his thing. If anything, if Travis didn't end up winning it, then yeah, Cam Ward, he definitely would have had it. And then you get Dylan in 3rd place. Nobody was really looking at him for real.
Honestly, Dillion, only reason I know who he is because he played on my team. Before that, he went to UCLA. He really wasn't a good quarterback there. Well, I can't say he wasn't a good quarterback because he ended up coming to my school, but there's nothing that really pops out at me at his game. Like, small quarterback, left-handed, can't throw the ball really more than 50.
Southpaw?
Yeah, can't really throw the ball more than 50, 60 yards. He can't really throw the ball downfield, if you ask me. And that's coming from a person who literally sat there and watched him underthrow receivers who were open or just making a bad read, making the wrong throw. So just, I don't know, man. Just they're going to have to do something because the season's not going to stop for nobody.
And then on top of that, like, they're going up against, like, of course they're, well-developed young men, but they're growing up against seasoned, veteran, grown men. So
this isn't college.
Those hits, they hit way harder than they do in college.
College.
And I remember watching the Coach Prime show on Amazon and watching all those hits that Shedeur would be taking, man. Like, those ice baths, they would hit way harder for him.
Yeah.
And I think that is the one thing I will be kind of concerned about regarding Shedeur if he does end up playing as the main QB. I feel like the defenders wouldn't actually do their job because of who he is and who his family is. And, I mean, honestly, both of the Sanders boys are kind of catching it. Like, even Shiloh, he's not a Tampa Bay anymore.
Yeah, he got cut recently.
Yeah.
I can't tell you for why, but it had to be for something. But with Shedeur, I hate to say this, but I think they're going to go after him if he gets in the game. I think they're going to make it as hard as possible for him. So.
They are. They're going to target him for real. But anyway, y'all, that's all the time we have for today on our first episode of Across the Board. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us today. We had such a great time. And do not worry, we will come back next week with very much more juicy content. Not with just NFL, maybe with more sports, but y'all, NFL is a hotbed right now with everything going on, especially going into week 6. Be sure to tune in to all the rest of our content regarding sports, PV, and anything else. This has been Lawryn Radford with
Colin Odom.
Signing off. Thank y'all.